Well, good afternoon, sisters and brothers. Good afternoon. My name is Will Fischer. I'm the Executive Director of the Union Veterans Council at the AFL-CIO. I'm a member of the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades. I'm a Marine, and I'm a veteran. And I've come today, out here today to share a little bit of good news with you. A little bit of bad news, and then a little bit more good news. Now, the first bit of good news is that based on the rhetoric we so often hear, there ain't anybody out there running for anything that doesn't love veterans. Not somebody running for president, the U.S. Senate, or the smallest office in the smallest town in America that won't pitch that baby aside they're getting ready to kiss if you get a chance to put their arm around a veteran. Put a veteran in their TV commercial. Talk about how much we got to stand with veterans. Have the backs of veterans.
Good evening to you.
Support veterans.
Stopping here for Hillary Clinton any moment now.
But here's the bad news.
Right now, some speakers
here's the bad news.
Before he gets here,
some of the rhetoric and policy proposals and records don't always match up. They don't always match up. And there's one fellow that comes to mind almost immediately. You know, Mr. Trump's always so keen on talking about me and my fellow veterans. I'd love to talk to y'all a little bit about Donald Trump as a veteran. Donald Trump, in one breath, says, I love the vets. And in the next says he wants to destroy and privatize our VA. Donald Trump says he loves veterans. But then he wants to get rid of our GI Bill. But it goes much deeper than that with Mr. Trump. You see, this is also somebody who compares his voyeuristic love life in the 80s and 90s to serving in combat in Vietnam. This is somebody who says that when young women and young men are hit by roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan, that they just go for a little ride in the air. This is somebody who 2 weeks ago said that if you suffer post-traumatic stress, you do so because you're not strong. Awfully rich comes somebody who's kept up at night in a cold sweat over a mean tweet, don't you think? This is somebody who has tried to degrade the service of people like John Kaine and other prisoners of war, and somebody who's attacked Gold Star families. Gang, can we let that sink in for a little bit? Where are we? Where are we in our politics where we have somebody, in this case the Republican Party's nominee for President of the United States, attacking Gold Star families? People who've already sacrificed more than many can even begin to imagine. This is somebody who about 8 weeks ago stood up on the stage and said, you know, I've always wanted a Purple Heart. You know, because of my capacity at the Union Veterans Council, I had a reporter call me about 10 minutes after that and said, Donald Trump just said he always wanted a Purple Heart. What do you think about that? And gang, I did something you're never supposed to do when a reporter calls. I said the first thing came to mind. And the first thing came to mind for me when Mr. Trump said that he'd always wanted a Purple Heart was August 19th of 2004. You see, that's the day that I was awarded the Purple Heart. And that's the day that my Marine brother who got his arm blown off was awarded a Purple Heart. That's the day my Marine brother who lost an eye was awarded a Purple Heart. And that's the day that my Marine brother who was killed was awarded a Purple Heart. You see, as much as Mr. Trump likes to talk about all the training he received at that elite military prep school, what they failed to teach him is that Purple Hearts are reminders of very bad days. And there's nobody with one who ever wanted it. Gang, this is somebody who categorically wants to send more young American women and men into combat. Not his kids. Donnie Jr., Eric, Ivanka, they're not putting on a flak jacket anytime soon. But if he gets elected president, you very well may, and you may, and your kids may. And it's mighty bold talk coming from somebody who dodged service when it was their time to go with the help of multiple deferments and having a rich dad. But I got to tell you, this anti-veteran, anti-working class nonsense extends well beyond the race for the presidency. You see, when you hear me talk about those politicians who like to come back to your communities here in Pennsylvania and talk about how much they love veterans, but then they go to Washington, D.C. and they vote against us every chance they get, there's one fellow who comes to mind immediately. Pat Toomey. You see, despite what Pat Toomey says when he's back here, since becoming a senator for the state of Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey's voted against bankruptcy protections for veterans and military families. Pat Toomey's voted against funding for veterans' health care, education, and job training benefits. And Pat Toomey's voted against the creation of the Veteran Job Corps Act. Now, does that sound like somebody you'd call pro-veteran? about the 940,000 veterans who call Pennsylvania home? Of course not. Of course not. But I promised y'all some more good news, didn't I? And here's the good news. We have champions for veterans in the working class. And people like Kaine McGinty. And people, cheer for Kaine. And people like Senator Tim McCain. And gang, in terms of this race for the presidency, let me be as crystal clear as I can. I'm a veteran, I'm working class, and I'm with her. And I'm with Hillary Clinton because she's with us. And she always has been. You see, Hillary Clinton doesn't look at veterans and the working class as political props. She sees us as human beings. That's why it was First Lady Hillary Clinton who worked to raise awareness on issues that were affecting Gulf War veterans. That's why it was Senator Hillary Clinton who championed legislation like the 21st Century GI Bill. And that's why it'll be President Hillary Clinton. Man, that sounds good, doesn't it? And that's why it'll be President Hillary Clinton who will work alongside Vice President Kaine and Senator McGinty to expand veterans' education, job training, and health care benefits. And I'll tell you one last bit. Hillary Clinton, Tim Kaine, and Kaine McGinty all fundamentally understand that when a veteran gets home, what they need access to more than anything is not another standing ovation at a football game. It's not another yellow ribbon on a car. What a veteran needs more than anything is access to a job a job that allows a veteran to live a life of dignity and live out the American dream we fought to protect and defend. Now I have to ask, are we ready to work to get Hillary, Tim, and Kaine elected? Are we ready to rid ourselves of people like Donald Trump and Pat Coon? That's going to be a fight, gang. We ready to fight? Well, good, because I'll tell you right now, it wasn't but 15 years ago I was a young recruit at Parris Island, South Carolina, and it was there I learned two very, very valuable lessons. Number one, in the immortal words of Marine Corps legend Chesty Puller, to hurt him, you gotta hit him. And number two, the mission of a Marine Corps rifle squad is to locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver and repel enemy assault through fire and close combat. Now, of course, that's the attitude mindset that I took to Iraq. But it's also the attitude mindset that I take to work every day. And that's the attitude mindset which it's going to take for us to win these fights. We're going to take the fight to them, sisters and brothers. But to bring more people together. We're going to out-organize them, spread more truth. And I'm telling you, if we do this work, we're going to whip these people. And not just in the voting booth this fall, but in state houses, D.C., and in working class fights all across this country. But only if we do our job. Only if we do our job. You see, when we lift up who we are and what we believe in, and we lift up who the opposition is and what they believe in, the people are on our side. So when we leave this hall today, we're going to have to go knock those doors. We're going to have to make those phone calls. We're going to have those conversations. And if we do our job, we're going to fight together. But if we do our job, we're also going to win together. And I thank you so very, very much.